The Galactic Council had convened in their grand chamber, a massive structure floating in the center of a neutral star system. Its walls shimmered with energy fields, and its floors were a lattice of transparent panels that revealed stars, planets, and nebulae far below. Leaders from dozens of alien civilizations had gathered. Some were tall and thin, like walking reeds. Others were armored in natural shells, with claws and mandibles that clicked when they spoke. Every species had a history, a pride, and a long memory of conquests or betrayals. Yet, despite all their experience, there was one subject that made almost every council member smirk: Earth. "Humans?" said Valon, the ambassador of Krath, his voice a low hum that vibrated the chamber. "They are still primitive. They have barely reached the stars. How can they be a threat to the council?" "Indeed," replied Rilsa, the aquatic representative from the oceanic world of Nemara. Her scales glimmered as she waved a fin dismissively. "Their technology is slow, and their fleets are laughable. We have centuries of superiority over them. Why waste time discussing them?" Other voices joined in, each expressing varying forms of mockery. Some shared stories of Earth's past wars and mistakes. Many remembered Earth's primitive weapons and uncoordinated governments. To them, humans were a curiosity at best, an amusing species that might eventually learn to survive among the stars, but never dominate them. But not all agreed. From the back of the chamber, an older alien, Kale from the desert world of Zyrath, cleared his throat. "You underestimate them," he said cautiously. "Humans have resources and creativity that none of us truly understand. I have observed them from afar. They are resilient." A chorus of scoffs met his warning. "Resilient?" laughed another counselor, a being made of shimmering crystal. "Resilient? They might survive a few skirmishes, Kale, but they are not a real threat. Our fleets alone could wipe them out in hours." Kale shook his head. "Perhaps, but resilience is more than survival. It is determination, adaptation, and unity. Never forget, they have survived predators, disasters, and wars on their home planet that would have ended most species. They learn fast." The chamber grew tense. Some members listened, but most were unwilling to give any real thought to his words. The arrogance of power ran deep in the council. In their history, no civilization had risen as rapidly or unexpectedly as humans could. And so, humans remained underestimated. Meanwhile, far across the galaxy, humans were busy preparing for the very day the council might decide to act against them. On Earth, the major capitals of the world had long united under a secret coalition known as the United Earth Command. Publicly, nations still had their governments, their industries, and their rivalries. But behind closed doors, scientists, engineers, and military leaders from every corner of the planet worked together toward a single goal: ensuring humanity's survival and freedom in a galaxy that often judged them as weak. Beneath the oceans of the Pacific, in massive hidden bays and caverns, engineers constructed enormous warships. These ships were unlike any humans had ever built. Some were kilometers long, with armor that could withstand concentrated energy beams. Others were fast, sleek, and capable of sudden bursts of speed that no alien fleet had yet experienced. Each ship was fitted with advanced weapons, shields, and stealth systems. To the Council, these ships did not exist. To humanity, they were the key to survival. Captain Mara Soren, a veteran pilot, walked along one of the flight decks, her boots clicking on metal floors. Her eyes scanned the massive hangar, filled with rows of ships, each waiting for deployment. Mara had flown countless missions in Earth's defense forces. She had seen the devastation humanity could endure, and she had seen how fast humans could learn and adapt. "Ready for inspection, Captain?" asked Lieutenant Jaren, walking beside her. His eyes were bright with excitement. "The engineers say the new stealth shields are operational. We could approach an enemy fleet without detection for hours." Mara nodded. "Good. We need every advantage. The Council may not respect warnings. They may try to act first." She paused and looked at the enormous ships. "Let them underestimate us. They will regret it." On another continent, scientists in orbital stations monitored the Council's fleets. Satellites and deep space scanners had been observing the Council for decades. Humans had mapped their ships, their weapons, and even their patrol routes. But there were still many unknowns. Some fleets were hidden behind cloaking technology far more advanced than anything humans had ever seen. Others were in unexplored star systems. Dr. Eli Voss, a chief scientist at the orbital station over the Atlantic, tapped his console. "They really believe we are weak," he said, almost in disbelief. "Look at this data. Our last probe passed right through their perimeter undetected. They have no idea we are capable of this much." "That's exactly what we want," replied Commander Suri, the station's military officer. "Let them feel safe. Let them laugh at us. Then, when the time comes, they will see how wrong they were." Back at the Council, Valon stood and motioned to holographic projections. Images of Earth's defenses, gathered from outdated intelligence, appeared above the chamber. The projections showed small ships, simple weapons, and no indication of the massive fleets humans were constructing in secret. "See?" Valon said with satisfaction. "Nothing. They are barely a threat. Our fleets can patrol near their system at will. We could blockade them without resistance." "Then why do we even waste time discussing them?" Rilsa asked again, her voice dripping with disdain. Kyle sighed, and his eyes lingered on the projection. "Because sometimes the smallest creatures carry the greatest surprise." His words were ignored. Again. Meanwhile, in a hidden orbital yard, humans prepared their elite crews for covert missions. Small ships were being loaded with advanced sensors, weapons, and communication equipment. These ships would test the Council's defenses and map hidden areas without alerting any alien forces. Lieutenant Jaren oversaw a group of pilots running simulations. "Remember," he told them, "every Council fleet has weaknesses. They are confident, yes, but they are predictable. Watch their patterns, adapt, and most importantly, stay united. No one human fights alone." Mara watched the young pilots as they prepared for their first test flight. They were anxious but eager. "The galaxy underestimates humans," she said softly. "But humans are clever. Humans are brave. And humans do not give up. That is our strength." In the Council's chamber, Kale looked around at the smug faces. "When humans finally reveal their true strength, the Council will be in shock," he whispered to himself. And on Earth, humanity waited for the day when that shock would come. Days turned into weeks. Covert missions began as humans probed alien territories, always careful not to reveal their full capabilities. Their ships were small enough to evade detection, but their pilots were skilled in strategy, speed, and improvisation. Every mission returned with valuable data. Every mission proved that humans were not as weak as the Council believed. One night, in the orbital command center, Mara and Jaren stood side by side, watching a holographic display of Council fleets moving in predictable patterns. Mara tapped a few buttons, highlighting several vulnerable ships. "See this?" she said. "They leave their command ships lightly defended, their cruisers are slow, and their weapons have blind spots. If humans had to fight, we could disable key elements without full engagement." Jaren grinned. "Imagine their faces when they finally see us." But even as humans prepared in secret, the Council's arrogance persisted. Valon and Rilsa continued to mock any warnings, and many Council members dismissed Kale as overly cautious. The galaxy's most powerful civilizations could not believe that humans, a small species from a single blue planet, could ever pose a threat. Yet Kale's voice remained quietly persistent. He had seen human creativity and unity in action. He had observed how humans used limited resources to achieve incredible outcomes. And he knew deep down that when the time came, humans would not be defeated easily. On Earth, the secret fleet continued to grow. More warships were launched into orbital bays. Advanced stealth technology was perfected. Weapon systems were tested repeatedly, and human pilots trained day and night, learning to anticipate, adapt, and work together flawlessly. Finally, after decades of preparation, the United Earth Command was ready. The fleet could strike, defend, or outmaneuver any Council force that dared to underestimate it. Mara stood on the command deck of the largest human warship, looking out at the stars. "They think we are small," she said softly. "They think we are weak. Let them believe that. The galaxy is about to learn the truth." And far away in their shimmering chamber, the Council continued to underestimate Earth. They laughed, they debated, and they plotted as if humanity were nothing more than a minor curiosity. The first part of the story closed with a quiet, powerful truth. Humans were no longer the species to be ignored. The galaxy was about to see what resilience, ingenuity, and unity could achieve. And when that day came, the Council would be shocked beyond anything they had imagined. The United Earth Command had spent decades preparing in secret. Every ship, every weapon system, and every pilot had been tested under extreme conditions. And now, after years of observation and intelligence gathering, Earth's leaders decided it was time to send a warning. The warning was not aggressive. It was clear, precise, and polite, yet firm. It would leave no doubt. Earth was not a weak planet. Humans were capable of defending themselves and striking back if provoked. Admiral Celine Voss, commander of the Earth Fleet, prepared the message personally. In the communications chamber of the Orbital Command Station, she studied the holographic display of the Galactic Council's fleets. Every cruiser, every scout ship, every patrol route had been mapped. "Our message must reach them directly," she said, her voice steady. "It is not a threat. It is a statement of fact. If they ignore it, they do so at their own risk." Lieutenant Jaron, standing beside her, nodded. "They will laugh. They always do. But the truth is there, and eventually, they will see it." Admiral Voss activated the long-range communication array, encoding the message in multiple forms to ensure reception. The message was simple but powerful. "Galactic Council, humanity is not to be underestimated. Our fleets, technology, and strategies have advanced far beyond your current intelligence reports. We do not seek conflict, but we will defend ourselves. We advise caution and respect." The message was transmitted through quantum channels, instant across vast distances. On Earth, the transmission center held its collective breath, waiting for a response. In the Council chamber, the message arrived as a small notification on the central holographic display. Vailon's mandibles clicked in amusement. "What is this?" he asked, his voice dripping with condescension. Rilsa waved her fin and laughed. "Humans? Sending us a warning? How adorable. Do they think we care?" Kyle, the cautious counselor, frowned. "Do not dismiss it so easily," he said quietly. "They are telling the truth. Humans have been hiding their strength." Vailon ignored him. "Strength? They have a few small ships, maybe some minor weapons. This is nothing. We have fleets that could destroy them in hours." Other council members joined in, mocking the idea of humans as a serious threat. The chamber echoed with laughter and chatter. Meanwhile, Earth continued its preparations. The warning had been sent, but humans did not rely on diplomacy alone. Elite strike teams were preparing their first covert missions beyond the solar system. Their goal: gather more intelligence, map hidden enemy positions, and test defenses without alerting the Council to their full capabilities. Captain Mara Soren led one of the first teams. Her ship, the Resolute, was small but fast, designed for stealth and maneuverability. It carried advanced sensors and a handful of elite pilots, all trained to handle situations that even the Council could not anticipate. "Keep your eyes open," Mara instructed her crew as they left Earth's orbit. "We are guests in their space, but we are not defenseless. If they detect us, retreat immediately. But gather as much data as possible. We need to understand them before they understand us." The team traveled through uncharted space, using stealth fields and sensor-blocking technology. They observed Council patrols, scanned hidden stations, and recorded movement patterns of larger fleets. Everywhere they went, they found the same arrogance. The Council assumed no human ship could reach them undetected. Jaren monitored the sensors from the control deck. "They leave patrol gaps near asteroid belts. Their scanners are powerful, yes, but predictable. If we needed to strike, we could exploit these gaps." Mara nodded. "And we will be ready if it comes to that. For now, observe and report. The galaxy thinks humans are weak. We will let them believe that until the right moment." Back at the Council, Kale watched the intercepted transmissions with growing unease. "They are learning," he whispered to himself. "They are adapting, and they are far more capable than we imagine." Valon, still dismissive, turned to him. "Kale, your paranoia is unwarranted. Humans are small, fragile, and slow. Their fleets are insignificant. We should focus on more important matters." Kale shook his head. "Paranoia is not the same as knowledge. I have observed humans' ingenuity. They find ways to survive, to fight back, and to overcome challenges. Do not underestimate them." Valon scowled but ignored the warning. To him, and to most of the Council, humans were not a threat worth worrying about. Meanwhile, Earth's strike teams continued their missions. Mara's crew had discovered a hidden supply station near a distant star. It was lightly guarded, relying on the assumption that no human ship could reach it. Mara decided to test their capabilities. "Prepare a simulated strike," she instructed. "We will disable their defenses without engaging in full combat. Let's see if our tactics work." The crew executed the operation flawlessly. Using precise maneuvers and stealth technology, they bypassed the patrols, neutralized automated defenses, and recorded every detail of the station. Not a single human life was lost, and the team returned to Earth with critical intelligence. Admiral Voss reviewed the reports with satisfaction. "They think this is harmless," she said. "But we are testing our abilities. Every mission teaches us something new. Every mission proves that humans can act where the Council believes we cannot." In the Council chamber, Kyle tried once more to persuade his peers. "We should not dismiss Earth. Their fleets are advanced. Their tactics are unpredictable. If we provoke them, we may face consequences beyond our calculations." Valon waved him off. "Consequences? Ha! They are nothing. A small planet, a few ships. We control the galaxy. What threat could they pose?" But Kale's unease grew. He had seen humans overcome impossible odds, adapt to any challenge, and strike with precision and courage. He knew the time was coming when the Council would regret underestimating them. On Earth, pilots trained continuously. Mara led drills simulating encounters with the Council's largest ships. Humans learned quickly, adapting to alien tactics, discovering weaknesses in weapons, and coordinating attacks that minimized risk. Their simulations were realistic and brutal, preparing crews for the unimaginable. "Humans are stubborn," Jaren said during one simulation. "They fight when no one expects them to. They adapt when no one predicts, and they never give up. That is their strength." Mara smiled. "Exactly. The galaxy sees us as weak, but it is our unity, intelligence, and courage that make us strong. One day, the Council will learn that the hard way." One covert mission brought Mara's team close to a major Council fleet. They observed cruisers, destroyers, and command ships moving in formation. The humans noted patterns, weapon cooldowns, blind spots in shields, and communication delays. Mara realized that, with careful planning, humans could disable a portion of the fleet without engaging directly. "This is it," she said quietly. "If the Council ever decides to attack us, we now know exactly how to defend ourselves, and we know how to respond with maximum effect." Back in the Council chamber, Valon continued to mock Earth's warning. "They speak of strength. They send messages. It is amusing. They have no idea what awaits them if they ever try to act against us." Kyle, however, watched the reports from intercepted probes. He saw humans acting decisively, learning rapidly, and operating in ways the Council had never anticipated. "They are far beyond what we think," he whispered to himself. "Far beyond." As Earth's teams returned from their missions, they shared data, improved strategies, and trained new crews. The planet itself had become a hub of secret preparation, a place where innovation, courage, and unity combined to form a force capable of surprising the galaxy. Mara looked out at the stars one evening from the command deck. "The Council believes we are weak," she said softly. "They laugh at our warning, and they dismiss our intelligence, but they have no idea what we are capable of. They will learn soon enough." Lieutenant Jaren joined her. "Do you think they will ever take us seriously?" Mara smiled. "Eventually, but we don't need their respect yet. We need readiness, we need precision, and we need unity. That is how humans survive and how humans triumph. One day the galaxy will know our true strength, and that day will change everything." And so, Earth's warning went ignored. The Council's arrogance persisted. But behind the scenes, humans continued to prepare, quietly and efficiently, gathering intelligence, testing strategies, and perfecting their skills. Every mission, every simulation, and every training exercise brought them closer to the day when the Council would realize that humanity was no longer weak. The first step had been taken. Humans had revealed their intent, and the Council had ignored it. The second step was being prepared. Humans would continue to grow stronger, smarter, and more capable. The galaxy, arrogant and dismissive, remained unaware of the storm that was quietly forming among the stars. And far away, Kyle watched, silently hoping that his warnings would be heard too late. On Earth, Admiral Voss and Captain Mara knew the truth. The galaxy thought they were weak, but humans were ready. They had the ships, the pilots, the strategies, and the courage. And when the time came, the galaxy would be shocked. For decades, the Galactic Council had underestimated humanity. They believed Earth's fleets were small, its technology primitive, and its people weak. But all that was about to change. On Earth, the United Earth Command prepared to reveal the secret they had been hiding for so long. Deep beneath orbital shields, hundreds of massive warships waited in silent formation. These ships were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Some were kilometers long, armored with materials that could withstand concentrated energy beams. Others were fast, sleek, and capable of incredible maneuvers. Each vessel carried advanced weapons, stealth shields, and artificial intelligence to assist human crews in coordination and strategy. Admiral Celine Voss stood on the command deck of the largest ship, the Indomitable. She gazed at the holographic display of the Galactic Council's fleets, tracking their movements through uncharted space. The Council had continued its arrogance, dismissing Earth's warnings and intelligence. Now humanity would show them the truth. "Prepare the fleet for full deployment," she ordered. "Stealth shields off, communications open. Let them see us for the first time." Captain Mara Soren, standing nearby, clenched her fists. "They will be shocked," she said. "They have no idea how wrong they were." Lieutenant Jaren nodded. "We've trained for this. Every mission, every simulation, every covert operation, everything has led to this moment. The galaxy is about to learn what humans are capable of." The fleet emerged from the orbital shields and entered hyperspace. For the first time, their presence extended far beyond Earth's system. Ships moved in perfect formation, a silent demonstration of coordination, discipline, and power. Meanwhile, in the council chamber, Kale was monitoring unusual energy readings. "Something is coming," he warned, his voice tense. "I can feel it. Humans. They are moving in force." Valon, ever dismissive, waved him off. "Impossible. Their fleets are insignificant. It must be a misreading of our own systems. Ignore it." But Kale could see the signs. Council scanners had suddenly detected anomalies in previously hidden regions. Small fleets were moving too fast, too coordinated, and too numerous to be anything trivial. Outside the council chamber, massive view screens displayed what Kyle feared: a growing fleet of unknown ships emerging from hidden positions across multiple star systems. The ships were enormous, each one capable of obliterating entire battle groups. Energy signatures were off the charts, and their formation suggested highly advanced tactics. Rilsa's eyes widened. This is impossible. These cannot be human ships." Kyle nodded grimly. "They are. And they are coming for a demonstration, not negotiation." Valon's mandibles clicked nervously. "No! This is a mistake. The humans cannot have this many ships. There must be an error." But there was no error. Every sensor, every observation confirmed it. Humanity had concealed its true military strength, and now the galaxy was about to see it. From the edge of the council system, the human fleet advanced. Ships moved in perfect synchronization, their weapons glowing faintly, their shields shimmering. Communications channels were open, broadcasting a clear, undeniable message. "Galactic Council, humanity is no longer a species to underestimate. We do not seek war, but we will defend ourselves. Respect us, and there will be peace. Ignore this, and you will witness consequences you cannot comprehend." The council members stared in disbelief. Their screens displayed massive ships, the likes of which they had never imagined. Every species in the chamber gasped. Some tried to scan the ships, but human stealth technology still concealed the full extent of their armaments. "This cannot be!" Valon shouted. "Humans! They are massive!" Kyle remained calm but concerned. "I warned you," he said quietly. "They are capable of far more than you ever imagined. The Council has underestimated them, and now we see the results." On board the human flagship, Admiral Voss observed the reactions across the Council. "Maintain formation," she ordered. "Do not provoke unless necessary. This is the revelation. Let them see us and understand our strength." Mara Soren led a squadron toward a lightly defended council outpost. Using stealth and speed, her team disabled the station's shields and automated weapons without firing a single destructive shot. Sensors recorded everything, sending live data back to Earth. Back in the council chamber, alarms blared. The projections of the outpost showed total disablement. Council officers scrambled. How did they do this without damage?" Rilsa asked in disbelief. Kyle shook his head. "It is human precision. They strike exactly where needed, bypass defenses, and cause maximum effect with minimum effort. This is their signature. Intelligence combined with courage." Valon's face turned pale. "We underestimated them. Entirely. How could a species so small—" His voice trailed off. Mara's team returned to the main fleet. Their mission was a message. Humanity was capable, intelligent, and prepared. The Council could no longer ignore them. The human fleet now surrounded the Council's central command station. Ships took positions in orbit around the massive structure, their presence undeniable. Communications channels opened again. "We are not invaders. We are not aggressors. We seek peace, but we demand respect. Humanity has survived impossible odds and thrived where others would have failed. We are ready to defend ourselves, and we are capable of doing so at a level you cannot ignore." The Council's members stared at the projections. Every detail of the human fleet was visible: its size, its organization, its technological sophistication. For the first time, fear replaced arrogance in many of their hearts. Vaylon's voice trembled. This is impossible. How can a species like this—" Kyle placed a calm hand on his shoulder. "They are not like other species," he said. "They have creativity, determination, and unity. Do not make the mistake of dismissing them again." The human fleet demonstrated its capabilities further. Strike drones simulated attacks on the Council's cruisers, moving so fast and so intelligently that even automated defenses struggled to respond. The Council realized that Earth had trained its pilots not only in combat, but in adaptability and strategy. Mara's voice came over the fleet comms. "We do not seek conflict. But understand this: humanity is prepared, united, and capable. Underestimating us could be catastrophic." Some Council members attempted to respond with fleet mobilization. However, the humans had studied their patterns for years. Using speed, stealth, and strategy, they disabled key defensive ships without engaging in full combat. The demonstration was precise, efficient, and non-lethal, yet utterly shocking. Kale watched in awe and relief. "They have exceeded even my expectations," he muttered. "The Council has finally seen the truth." Council members who had mocked humans for centuries now faced the reality of a species that combined intelligence, innovation, and courage. They had expected weakness, chaos, and disorganization. Instead, they found discipline, foresight, and unity beyond anything they had imagined. Vaylon stood frozen, staring at the holographic displays. We underestimated them," he whispered. "Completely underestimated." Rilsa's fins trembled. "What do we do now?" she asked, fear finally replacing arrogance. Kale looked at the fleet with quiet pride. "We respect them," he said. "We negotiate with them carefully. Humanity has earned its place in the galaxy. We cannot fight them. Not without consequences, we cannot survive." The human fleet held position, their presence a calm, unyielding statement. They did not attack, but they did not retreat. They were prepared, capable, and determined. For the first time, the Council realized that humans were no longer a species to dismiss. On Earth, Admiral Voss watched the live feeds from the Council system. She allowed herself a small smile. "They see us now," she said softly. "They know the truth. Humanity is strong, humanity is united, and humanity will be respected." Mara Soren looked at her crew. "We did not fight them. We showed them. Sometimes showing strength is stronger than fighting. Today the galaxy has learned that humans are not weak." Lieutenant Jaren nodded. "And they will remember it for a long time. From now on, Earth will not be underestimated." Kale returned to the Council chamber and addressed his fellow members. "Learn from this. Humanity is unlike any other species we have encountered. Do not make the mistake of underestimating them again. Their intelligence, unity, and courage make them a power to be respected." The chamber fell silent. For once, the arrogance and pride that had dominated their history were replaced by awe and respect. The revelation was complete. Humanity had revealed its true strength, not through war or conquest, but through precision, intelligence, and unity. The Council, humbled and shocked, could no longer ignore the small blue planet that had once seemed so insignificant. And somewhere in the depths of space, the human fleet held its position, ready for any eventuality. They had proven their capability. They had shown the galaxy what humans could achieve when united, determined, and courageous. The stars themselves seemed to shine a little brighter as humanity took its rightful place among the galaxy's powers. The human fleet had made its presence undeniable, Council scanners confirmed every detail of Earth's capabilities. Hundreds of massive warships, advanced weapons, near-impenetrable shields, and highly trained crews capable of coordinated maneuvers that no other species had ever demonstrated. Yet humans had not fired a single destructive shot. Their strength alone spoke volumes. In the council chamber, whispers filled the space. Leaders who had once mocked humanity now exchanged uneasy glances. Vaylon's mandibles clicked nervously. We cannot dismiss them. They are unlike anything we imagined. Kyle, the lone voice of caution for years, nodded. I told you. Humanity is resilient, intelligent, and unified. Their strength is not just in technology, it is in their spirit and coordination. Rilsa swam closer to the projection screens, her eyes wide with disbelief. They disabled our outposts. They bypassed patrols, and they did it without attacking. How? They are teaching us a lesson, Kale replied softly. One that we ignored for far too long. Meanwhile, on Earth's flagship, Admiral Celine Voss prepared the next step. The demonstration had been a warning. Now it was time to establish communication and ensure that the Council understood humanity's intentions. Open a secure channel to the Council, she ordered. We do not seek war. We seek respect. We seek a place at the table as equals. Captain Mara Soren adjusted her headset. They will listen now, she said. I think they finally understand the cost of underestimating humans. The holographic feed connected to the council chamber. Every council member could see the human fleet in full formation. The largest warship, the Indomitable, dominated the view, its size and design unlike anything in the galaxy. Admiral Voss appeared, calm and commanding. Leaders of the Galactic Council, she began, her voice steady. We have shown you that humanity is no longer a species to be ignored or underestimated. We do not wish to conquer or destroy. We wish to coexist, but we demand respect and recognition for what humans are capable of. Vaylon stumbled over his words. We underestimated you. We did not expect... Admiral Voss raised a hand. Your underestimation could have been catastrophic for you. Now that you understand, we hope this marks the beginning of a new era, one of mutual respect and cooperation. Kale watched silently, a sense of relief in his heart. Finally, the Council would acknowledge what he had been warning them about for decades. Some counselors, however, were still cautious, even fearful. How can we trust them? One asked. They have power beyond comprehension. They could destroy us if they wished. Kale shook his head. Trust is not required. Respect is. They are not acting aggressively. They have demonstrated their power without conflict. That alone shows their discipline and purpose. On Earth, humans prepared to receive a delegation from the Council. Their goal was simple: diplomacy backed by undeniable strength. They wanted peace, but on equal terms. Captain Mara Soren oversaw the coordination of the fleet. We must remain professional, she said. They are nervous, but they must see we are serious and fair. Humanity's reputation is at stake now. When the Council delegation arrived, they were escorted into orbit above Earth. Ships of every type surrounded the visitors, a clear but non-threatening display of strength. Humans boarded the Council vessels in small numbers, each carefully selected for diplomatic skill and strategic knowledge. Admiral Voss greeted the delegation personally. Welcome, she said. You are safe here. We want dialogue, understanding, and mutual respect. The galaxy has often underestimated humans, but that era is over. We will not be ignored. Vaylon, still recovering from shock, struggled to respond. You have power far beyond what we imagined. We seek guidance on how to proceed. Admiral Voss smiled calmly. Begin by acknowledging humans as equals. That is the first step. Cooperation comes later. But make no mistake, any aggression against Earth will be met with a response you cannot ignore. Kyle stepped forward. The Council must understand that humanity's strength is not merely technological. It is strategic, adaptive, and united. They have survived and thrived where others would fail. That is why respect is required. Over the next several days, discussions continued. Council leaders asked questions about human fleets, strategies, and technologies. Humans answered carefully, revealing only what was necessary. They demonstrated that they sought no conquest, only recognition and the security of their species. The Council began to realize that humans had something far more valuable than sheer firepower: unity. Humans worked together, combining intelligence, courage, and creativity to achieve results no single alien species had matched. Valon finally addressed the room. We underestimated them for centuries. Their tactics, discipline, and strategy, it is unmatched. We must acknowledge them as equals. Kale nodded. Yes, humanity demands respect, and they have earned it. In the following weeks, Earth was formally recognized by the Council as a major power. Treaty discussions began, outlining cooperation, shared technology, and trade agreements. Humans insisted on transparency in diplomacy and fairness in all dealings. The Council, still reeling from their prior arrogance, agreed. On Earth, celebrations were subdued but meaningful. Humanity had earned its place among the stars not by war, but by discipline, intelligence, and courage. Admiral Voss addressed her fleet. You have all done more than train, fight, or fly. You have proven that humanity cannot be underestimated. The galaxy has learned that humans are united, capable, and prepared. Today, we secure a future where our species will thrive with respect and recognition. Captain Mara Soren looked out at the fleet. We showed them, without firing a shot, what humans can do. That is power in its purest form. Lieutenant Jaren added, The Council will never forget this. They know we are not weak. They know we are ready, and they know that humanity will be respected. Even Kale, the cautious counselor, finally allowed himself a smile. They have proven it. Humans are a force unlike any other. Their strength is not just in ships or weapons. It is in their spirit, their courage, and their unity. That is why they command respect. The stars seemed brighter as Earth's fleet returned to their home orbit. Humanity had not sought dominance, only acknowledgement. Yet, the demonstration had changed the galaxy forever. Other species would now think twice before dismissing humanity. Admiral Voss stood on the command deck, gazing at Earth below. This is only the beginning, she said. The galaxy now knows our strength, but strength without purpose is meaningless. Our unity, intelligence, and courage will guide us forward. Mara Soren, standing beside her, nodded. And humanity will continue to grow, learn, and adapt. The galaxy may have underestimated us once, but never again. From orbit. Earth looked peaceful, but in reality, humanity had become a force that no one could ignore. The galaxy had been shocked, but the lesson was clear. Humans were not to be underestimated. Their resilience, intelligence, and courage had secured them a place among the stars, and their influence would continue to grow. In the council chamber, leaders whispered among themselves. Fear and respect replaced arrogance. They would never again dismiss Earth. They had learned the hard way that humans, though small in size, were giants in strength, strategy, and spirit. Kyle observed quietly, satisfied that at last humanity had achieved the recognition it deserved. They have earned their place, he said softly, and the galaxy will never forget it. Humanity's demonstration of strength and diplomacy had set a new standard in the galaxy. No species would underestimate them again. And on Earth, the United Earth Command continued its work, preparing for a future where humanity would thrive, respected and feared, in a universe that had finally recognized their true power. The galaxy had been shocked, but for humanity, it was the beginning of a new era, an era of respect, opportunity, and limitless potential.